Hey geeks, do you love comics, collectibles, and TCG? Well, here at Cardboard Cave, we have the place for you. Pass by Kapitan Granuja Comics and Games and find all your favorite geeky items there. Look for them at Facebook or Instagram or call them at 787-659-7003. A store blessed by Nicole Bolas. Hey, do you like Magic the Gathering? Myself as well loves Magic the Gathering. Well, I have the podcast for you. How about you join us at Cardboard Cave MTG Podcast? We are in all social media and audio platforms that you can enjoy. You can join us as well when we go live every Wednesday at 9. Like that, you can join us, comment below, and we can go ahead and have that conversation together. Plus, after that, we have Commander games and arena content coming your way. So if you love Magic the Gathering as well as we do, just go ahead, look us up as Cardboard Cave Podcasts. Hey, good night, guys. I hope you guys are having a great night today. Today I am not alone. JP is on his way. The Master of the Dark Arts, he is on his way. We had like a little minor misinterpretation of the schedule of tonight's podcast, so he thought it was going to be at 9:30. He's already on his way, like that we can get the show started. But thank you for always supporting us, guys, and there is more to come here at the Cardboard Cave podcast. So I'm going to be doing a couple of announces and as well just giving you a small reminder. Oh, there he is. Here, a small reminder. Remember that we are already affiliated with Alter Sleeves. So if you guys are at Facebook or at YouTube, the only thing you guys have to do is go to the description on the top or on the YouTube channel. Like that, you guys can go ahead and just click the link or use our code Cardboard Cave to get 5% off your order. This will help us keep making content and will help us just move forward with you guys and in the community. For the future, we will have our own altar sleeve. And as well, one some more thing, if you guys want your Magic the Gathering swag, we will be making a link for these types of shirts. But as well, you can just pass by End Phase Comics and much more that you guys can get your Will You Pay the One or Only Lands shirt. We do have two other designs. There's Mountain Go and Feed the Fish. The Feed the Fish one has still not been shown yet. But either way, one more thing. This Friday at Capitan Granuja Comics and Games, our local game store, we will be, all the cast of the Cardboard Cave will be there to join the pre-release event as well. We will be streaming the event. We will open pre-release boxes with you guys, explain to you what can happen in a pre-release event, and as well just have fun that you guys can have the gameplay as well. So let me go ahead and present the Master of the Dark Arts, the one and only JP.
Hey, what's up?
Hey,
sorry, sorry for the delay. I'm not sure if our listeners and our viewers have noticed, but I was like kind of in a rush. But anyways, everything good?
Yeah, everything's good, dude. Hey, don't worry about it, because when you told me, oh, is it my bad? When you told me, oh, isn't it at 9:30? I'm like, did I put 9:30 in the ad?
I didn't check the ad. I was just thinking our standard time, or at least our current standard time.
Yeah, our current standard time. Just for everybody to know, if you are listening, normally the podcast actually starts from 8:30 to 9, because normally Chris is the one that has either class or something going on, so it takes time for him to get back live. So JP, the commander deck lists are out. I'm so pissed.
Yes.
I have one piss comment about that, but that will be our next topic. But this piece of news is the one that has it was released yesterday. It made havoc in the Magic the Gathering community. Give me 1 second. You did send me a link. Let me put it there as well. I'll put it in the other side in a second. So uh one of the pieces of news that came out, and it was officially posted in the Magic the Gathering website. So apparently Magic the Gathering has a pricing update. So I'm gonna read the first paragraph. This is the one that is going to that made a lot of noise in social media. So Wizard of the Coast says the following: over the past years, the cost of goods, transportation, and manufacturing have increased significantly and steadily for just about everyone across nearly every industry. For Wizard of the Coast, this means that we've seen a large spike in overall cost to products to produce Magic the Gathering. As such, we will be increasing prices by around 11%, allowing for regional variations on select products in our lineup starting in September. We worked hard to keep draft boosters and later set boosters and collector boosters at the relatively consistent price across our premier sets, the four major yearly releases that affect the standard format. For as long as we were able, however, the price to produce Magic the Gathering has increased significantly, and we've especially seen an uptick in cost to produce, manufacture, and ship Magic around the world in the past year. We kept the scope of the price increases and as narrow as possible, and will only be adjusting prices for the following premier set: Infinity and Jumpstart products. So the two products that will be affected will be the Jumpstart and the Infinity products. They go ahead and continue saying Commander decks, meanwhile, have a price increase going into effect with Streets of New Capenna. There are no plans to increase the price of Commander decks further in July. Each of these products will increase by slightly different percentages, which we'll estimate will be approximately 11% across the products that are seeing an increase, allowing regional variations. These increases also will not affect product lines like Masters, Modern Horizons, Secret Layer, Challenger decks, and Universes Beyond. Additionally, even for premier sets, we do not currently have plans to change prices on pre-release packs. The price will affect Dominaria United as well as any backlist product starting in July. So this piece of news made a lot of noise yesterday. A lot of people were kind of angry about it. A lot of people were questioning the 11% increase or inflation, how people are saying it. So, JP, what do you think about this?
Didn't they just have record-setting revenue? Like they've made more money these past years than they've made any other years, and now they're increasing their pricing.
Yep.
Of course, they say, "Oh, there's so much product we have to put out: draft boosters and set boosters and collector boosters." Set boosters and collector boosters have already set in with us. I remember a time where we were kind of like, at least I was pretty vocal about not wanting at least set boosters, because why have you could have the draft booster for the drafting process, and then the collector booster for like collectors.
Yeah.
And because set boosters are just like, oh, they have all the good cards in the set and like the story cards in the set, but for the most part, at least at the moment, they weren't printing any good set booster, or at least get good products in set boosters. They were kind of new. They were kind of like the variancy wasn't that like that. That wasn't that good. You probably lose money at the beginning. Now set boosters are probably a lot. Sorry, they're not probably. They are a lot better. So
Yeah.
like they have already settled in. But the amount of like, okay, if they're producing draft boosters, set booster, collector boosters, that's three types. That's three types already. Then
Hmm.
they have their other products. It's like they've done this. Like I feel like they've done this to themselves.
Yeah,
Not really. It's not even that like that the pricing has been, oh, it's more difficult now. It's no, like they kind of put themselves in this. Also, this kind of feels like a money grab. Like I said, now is like after your record setting revenues, now is when you decide to up your up the ante and make sure you get more money. Right, kind of that kind of sits wrong with me. I am kind of happy. I was gonna mention that before you read it, because I read I read art. It's like people, I've seen people argue about the article, but I hadn't read the article itself. And I'm glad that even though there's gonna be an initial uh, uh, price increase for Commander, it's not gonna keep on going like the others, and it's not gonna be in the same percentile.
mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that pre-release boosters are like still are supposed to be the same the same price, and none of the premiere sets like the specialty ones like Modern Masters and that type of stuff won't be affected either. So because they were already pretty expensive.
Yeah,
Uh, all I'm
they do
like
say it.
I'm not happy with the price increase, but if there's going to be a price increase, I expect a quality increase.
Yeah,
Like I'm not gonna be paying it's like premium price for an on it's like not for not premium quality product. So
exactly. Even though if it is something that I was talking to a friend of mine because he was asking me, I sent him a list of the future sets that are coming because he's a business partner with me in our online TCG player store. So he was like, he checked the list. He's like, oh wait, but we're not going to be buying Unfinity, and I'm like, no, because Unfinity is an unset. Those cards probably a couple might be a lot cost money. I know that the shock lands are going to be there, new full art lands are going to be there, but at the end game, if you buy the box, you're going to be stuck with a bunch of silver bordered cards that you're not going to be using. So I told them like, this is a type of set that it would be cool to invest, but if it's investing for yourself because you want to draft with your friends and you want to have fun, and then there's like a house rule. This booster box, I bought it myself, so any shocklands that appear are mine. You guys can use them for the draft or whatnot. You know, you can people can do that. Um, but it's a set that again, there is one of the sets that is going to be adjusting in price as well as the jumpstart product. So even though I have bought booster packs from Jumpstart, it is a very weird ass booster pack. I don't like it that much because the cards get repeated or the same pack will be repeated again. Um, so but it's fine at least that at least premium products or premium sets, as in what they say, master sets, Modern Horizon, Secret Layer Challenger decks, and or and universes beyond will not be affected. You know, but this is something that was talked so much yesterday. So many people were mad about this because you have a good point. They did said that they were like record setting numbers, and right now it's like I don't understand. Is this actually coming from you, Wizard of the Coast, or is it this coming from your
it's
other
big brother say big brother
is
yeah, big brother commanding you is like, hey, I'm watching you.
exactly, because the thing is that this is very interesting because if this is going to happen to Magic the Gathering, probably this is just me putting it out there. Then probably we'll see like a D&D or Dungeons and Dragons um uh article as well saying, "Oh, figures and books will have a I don't know, 10% increase from this month on." Just because I don't know. Do you think that might happen? They're
I
under the
don't.
same boat
I don't think that it'll happen, but I won't. I won't say it won't happen. I don't think it won't. So I don't think it will, but I'm not denying that it could.
because recently they have been starting to make figures of Magic the Gathering characters, dragons, and everything to add into your D&D campaign. If you do a Magic the Gathering D&D campaign, or a one shot of your character being in the magical world of planeswalkers or planeswalking. So it's really interesting that we got this yesterday. It's really sad that we're going to get this inflation. And the thing is that they don't think only about us. This will affect local game stores as well. So I hope that this does not affect our local game stores in regards to them um holding off on buying product just because of this inflation. Again, this might affect the next set, that is the Infinity set. There's going to be the next one that's going to come up next.
It will affect, and I didn't think about that because I was just thinking as a player. Yeah, this will 100% affect store because now they're gonna have to explain why they're selling it at a higher price,
Exactly.
and
Or
you know
or they're going to be doing like some other local game stores that go ahead and they put like the cheap price in pre-order, and then when it's release date, the prices go up a little bit higher. Some stores do that because it's a way to cash grab you from the start.
that sounds like a actually sounds pretty good in terms of business. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
So do you have anything else to say about the set? I mean
Greedy,
the
like they're being greedy. They're being it's kind of feels scummy on their part. They're a big company; they can do whatever they want. But like, like if your numbers are public property, because they're not public property, but like public knowledge, and people can just know, oh, you're making more money than you've ever made in ever,
yeah.
and now you decide to pump up the numbers. Yeah, it just kind of feels like bad.
Yeah, it does. It does. So so nothing. Whoever's listening to us or watching us right now, comment below right now in our live session, or while you watch it, what do you think about this inflation of Magic the Gathering, I mean of Wizard of the Coast, of the MTG products. So one of the other pieces of news is that at last, that was on the 18th of April, at last we have, let me wait, added to stream. There you go. At last, we have the Streets of New Capenna Commander deck list and previews. Sadly, before we start, I thought Benny was a commander card that was, in a commander, and it's not.
What? Which one?
Benny, the zoologist. Benny Brack's zoologist. That's the He is the 4 drop that is 3 and white, legendary creature,
Oh
elf,
yeah,
druid.
the one that draws you a card every time a
Yeah, every
creature
time you
enters.
create a token
Okay,
at the end step. Yeah. So that card is not available in any of the commanders. It's available in the collector booster box. So
really?
yeah.
Not even the set boosters?
I don't know if in the set boosters, probably yes, because set boosters do include commander cards.
Yeah.
Um So probably in the set boosters. But this is sad. Right now, Benny right now is, I have him right here. Benny right now in cost right now. The cheapest one, at least in the listing, is at $9.99 at Card Kingdom. But at TCG Player is going for $14.99 or $13.99. So yeah, let me see. The borderless is going for a couple bucks more. You have it borderless. It's not that bad. So we are having the same treatment again, where some
It's like
cards are not.
Goshintai.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
of the other things that I wanted to see today before we did this podcast is because you know that normally the professor does, is it worth it to buy the commander products? But there's no video today.
He usually has the products with him when he does
Yeah,
that.
I
So
know. That's why. But
the set hasn't come out, and the products aren't there. He's not like he doesn't have them physically, so he doesn't review them outside. He reviews a product when he has the product
okay.
on him. So
So in
we
theory,
expect
we're
that like in
reviewing
two
it.
weeks.
So we're reviewing it first
Like I'm
without the
sure. I'm pretty,
cards.
yeah, like just the general things. So the first deck is Cabaret Cacophony. This deck is led by Kit Kanto, Mayhem Diva. Her ability is when Kit Kanto enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. At the beginning of combat on each player's turn, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control. When you do, target creature that player controls gets +2/+2 and gains trample until end of turn. Goad that creature. She is a 1 red, green, white, so 4 mana, for a 3/3 legendary cat Bard Druid. Uh, as in terms for the deck, do you see any notable reprints? Any notable cards from the new cards? Because just looking at it from a like from just just kind of looking at it, like I know Kazul Tyrant of the
There is
Cliffs
there is
is
a couple. There is
uh
a couple of the reprints of the new set. Um, but most of
uh,
these cards, for what I see, are reprints of cards from Magic, other Magic the Gathering sets. Because right now I
yeah.
see here Arastas of the Endless Web. She is from Theros. She was, she is from
So
Theros.
yeah, but as in notable, as in like see like Sabal return. This was a card of like a few days ago because
Hmm.
I checked the decks the day it came out, and MTG Goldfish has a constant rotating, like the cost of the cards are constantly updating.
Yeah,
So Savala returned.
Silvana.
Yeah, Silvana was like a $8 card, and now she's what, a $5, $4 card, $3.
Yeah, 350 it says here.
Yeah. Uh,
But in total
Pat,
value, this
yeah,
deck is
Pat,
$137.
I don't take those total values into account because as a deck, if every single card in your deck is worth $1, you have $100.
Okay.
So like, because it's 100 cards,
Yeah,
and
right
you
now,
like, and you don't count the forests, like basic lands into account. So I don't take the total value immediately. Take what I do is like take the, if a card is worth around like $3-ish and above, and see like how much those cards are uh, that at that total value. So taking into
okay.
account this, I would take like that's 10, that's 14.50, uh, that's $18, 18, 18, 21. 28, 28. That's 35, 35, and 35. That's around like $45. The deck is going to cost you around that price. So this deck is well costed for its price.
Okay. What do you think
That's
about the
what I think at
lands?
least. I appreciate the lands because there's a lot of ways to get your colors. I do appreciate that they reprinted Rugged Prairie. Rugged Prairie is a filter land. They were first printed in Lorwyn. They got reprinted in one of the master sets. I think,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, double masters and masters 25.
Yeah, if
Uh,
I'm not mistaken, yeah, it was Masters 25.
so I appreciate they keep getting another reprint. Every single one of the decks has one. In this case, this is Rugged Prairie. Rugged Prairie being the red-white filter land. A lot of the a lot of the lands are like very well situated, and have not only adding colors, but some that have abilities that synergize with the deck. That's the thing I wanted to mention.
We do have
Every
a
single one of
Halo from
every
Mecha
single
Geek.
one of the decks are very well built. Like they are, you can
They're on theme.
crack you can crack them open and you can play them right out of the gate, and it's not like they're not gonna run. They have
Okay.
enough of each, because that was my problem with the red green commander
Yeah,
from Neon Dynasty
from
Kamigawa,
Neon Dynasty.
the actual, like, after seeing Chishido in play and seeing how he plays, he is a strong card. His deck needs work, but actually Chishido is actually a strong card.
I'm still here. Just need to look for something in the back.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why I feel like these decks are just well built, at least in comparison to the other ones. They have a good amount of card draw. They got a good amount of ramp. It's a token deck, and it wants to create tokens, and it creates tokens. It has a decent amount of value in it, so I feel like it's a good deck.
Yeah, I do like the fact that I was checking out the lands now, and there's a lot of cards, rare lands. It's really interesting to see so many reprinted lands. That's really cool. I really do like the fact that it has a couple of good lands. So the next commander is Obscura Operation. The commander is Kami's Obscura Oculus. Is one white, blue, black legendary creature, Cephalid Rogue.
Yeah, Cephalid Rogue.
Cephalid Rogue. Rogue, my bad. Whenever you attack, target attacking creature can't be blocked this turn. It connives. Um,
Connives.
Connives. Then choose another attacking creature with lesser power. That creature gains double strike until end of turn.
This card, I'm pretty sure I was talking about this with a friend, and
Hmm.
he was really excited for that card. He is really excited for that card. So the idea of this being,
Hmm.
uh, you make something unblockable, and then make something else have double strike. You could have enchantments like Duelist Heritage, so you can make the thing you made unblockable have double strike as well. So you could have
Yeah,
two things with double strike. It's just it's just very interesting. The deck itself, I looked at it from I just kind of looked at a few of the cards. There's one card that's like really, really, really expensive for some reason.
let's see.
Smuggler Share.
Smuggler Share. There you go.
So
At the beginning,
Smuggler Share reads 2 and a white enchantment. At the beginning of each end step, draw a card for each opponent who drew 2 or more cards this turn. Then create a treasure or token for each opponent who had 2 or more lands enter the battlefield under their control this turn. So
$24.99.
so yeah, this basically for white, this is like stupid strong. And also, I'm surprised the price on this other card is these other cards are not that like steep. Life insurance,
Is at
three yeah
3.99.
three white yeah three white and black. The enchantment has exhort, and it says whenever a non-token creature dies, you lose one life and create a treasure token. That goes infinite so damn easily. That goes infinite very easily. And Into Deep is a split second way to remove a problem a creature planeswalker. So you could just make sure a planeswalker becomes a clue.
Mm-hmm.
This deck has very interesting cards. Also, and not to mention, it also has Silent Blade Oni, Rexual of the Risen Deep,
Yeah.
Alela, Artful Provocateur, and this is notable because it's the first time she's getting reprinted. I'm not sure if she was in the list, and if she was, she still has like her own set symbol. I'm not sure if they're going to change her art. I don't think they're going to change her art, but the fact that she's going to be reprinted in another set, not the list specifically, is very interesting. Uh, in terms of the actually no before that is like the ramp. I want to talk about the ramp in this deck because you got Soul Ring, Wayfarer's Bauble, Arcane Signet, Azorius Signet, Demir Signet. You got Felwar Stone. You got the Orzhov Signet. uh, you got Commander's Fear. This is like a good amount of artifact ramp. The one thing it doesn't have, and it's a thing a lot of people were mad because we'll later see that the white, blue, green deck, the Bant deck, the Brokers deck, it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have it either. People were very mad that Talisman, like the Talisman of Progress, the blue white talisman, the talisman that could have been in the Buckle Up Commander and in any of these two commanders, yeah, it still hasn't gotten a reprint, and it's just a talisman. It's just a blue white talisman. It's $16.
Jesus.
It's $16.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, going back to this, the last deck offered you a Path to Exile, while this one offers you a Swords to Plowshares. It's
Mm-hmm.
kind of nice that both of them are getting reprinted. Swords to Plowshares being the more common one that gets reprinted, but Path to Exile is a very nice card to have a reprint of. I have no idea if this deck does what it wants to be doing in terms of like the deck itself. Because I look at this deck and it's all over the place in terms of like, because you have a lot of, you want to be like, the deck probably wants to have Kamiz out very like every single time, because a lot of these cards don't do much unless they make sure they get like they hit. I
Exactly.
like they do, a lot of them have a lot of evasion though, which is good, and a lot of them have like a hit effects. But I'm not sure if like whatever this deck wants to be doing, because it's just making a creature unblockable, and you get to connive. Uh, I'm not sure if this deck wants completes its goal as easily as the other one, because making tokens is a lot easier. Kamiz is a lot more like, it's funny enough. It's much more of an obscure strategy.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
do
it
you think?
makes sense. It makes sense. Okay,
So
so the next one
wait,
is
before the value, like the inherent value of what I
uh-huh.
see. So this deck has like six. That's 25. That's 31, 35, 30, 35, 38, 38, 46, 46, 55, 55, uh, 55, 59, 65, 70, 78, 75, and then 70, 80, 80 something. Like this deck has like around $80 in like value, which is
Mm-hmm.
like almost double, if not double that, like very much near the other one, which
Yeah.
is kind of surprising. But most of that price is actually the smuggler's
The
share.
smuggler's share. Yeah.
Even then, it would still like be like around $20 more in terms of value.
Mm-hmm.
When looking at it, this one says when it says buy the cards from Card Kingdom is like 138, and this one, the other one, has 185. I still like in difference, instead of the $40, it's still like $50 of a difference of what I
Yeah.
estimate. It's like a lot.
Yeah. And again, this is something that one has to notice if by any chance, if you're just buying the commander for singles, sometimes you can buy them at the price, and then you can get a better, you can get the cards that you want with no issues if you're just buying the cards for your commander, or like some people say, just buy singles. you know Singles is always the route to go. The next commander is
Uh, yeah.
Riveteers Rampage.
So the
And
commander
the
is,
commander.
I love this commander. I just love his art. I just love it. The like, he embodies like a devil rogue. That just makes sense. He's Henzi Toolbox Torre. He's red, black, green. He's a 3/3 legendary creature devil rogue. Each creature spell you cast with mana value 4 or greater has blitz.
Hmm.
This blitz cost is equal to its mana cost. Blitz cost you pay costs one less for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. So it's very interesting how it wants like for those who don't know, Blitz is you play the blitz cost, you play it. It has haste, and then you have to sacrifice it at the end step, and you draw a card.
Yep. It's like Dash, but without instead of returning it to your hand, you
You
sacrifice
sacrifice
it
and draw a card.
and draw a card. Yeah. There's a couple.
The amount of new cards in the set, because right now there's pricing, but when the set was first released, people were still figuring out the pricing for the each of the cards, and the new cards didn't have pricing, so it was easier to identify which cards were the new cards. And if I'm not mistaken, Riveteer Rampage has the most amount of new cards from the commanders. Uh,
For what I
uh,
see, yeah, it does.
I feel like this deck has to for like if you were to build this deck, you kind of have to optimize for like 4 mana cost, and that gives me a lot of ideas for trying to abuse Demon Lord Bells Unlock. It draws you a bunch of cards, and you can play them for free, like for a lot cheaper with Henzi. The deck is very well built. I am very happy that this like with the deck, and how if I were to buy one, I'd buy this one.
Okay.
Not only because Jolene is in this one, and it's mostly my driving force of why I want the deck. Is mostly because the Beamtown Bullies is really interesting as a commander. The deck is built well. Henzi is very interesting. It has a lot of my type of effects of like sacrifice and draws, and when something dies, you get effects. So that's also why I'm interested in it. But The deck is just built well, and I appreciate that these feel built well. In terms of value, there's like 3, 8, 16, 21, 26, 31, 39, 39, 30, 44, 48, 52, 56, 60, 60, 70. This deck has a lot of more value in terms of like individual cards than the other one because it already passed and I'm missing like a bunch of the $10 cards. So yeah, it's around 70 to $80 as well.
Yeah,
It's like
it
40,
is
like it is 40, like around 40 more. And then you look at the price from the buy from Card Kingdom, and it says
187.
187. So it's very similar to the Obscura operation, which also kind of feels sad that the other one, like the Cabaret Cacophony, doesn't have
Mm-hmm.
as much value. It has enough value to go basically even in terms of what you're trying to buy, and you have a well built deck. But this has like value for like to go for more.
Exactly.
What do
It
you think about
does.
this? Like, what do you think about this deck?
I actually it's actually interesting. By the time Dash was out, that was the deck that I used to play for fun. When I was trying to play standard, right? So I like the whole playing the card, attacking you, then sacrifice it, draw a card. That's good because some of these cards, some of these cards do have um how do you call it, let's put an example. Where is he? Solum Simulacrum. You play him. He enters. You look for your basic. You attack. If you do hit, you hit, but then it dies. So instead of drawing one card, you draw two cards.
Also, very very important. He costs 4 mana. Henzi makes the cost for like less. So something I just thought of. It is very unlikely, but if you have a way like a cost reductor,
Mm-hmm.
there's an easy infinite combo I just thought of. There's
I
ancestral
think.
like ancestral guardians is so basically as long as your creatures, let's say your creatures cost 2 less for some reason, I'm pretty sure there's a card that can do that, and you've cast your commander twice. That's still 5 mana, so it's still doable. That means the cost for your blitz cost for a spell is it's 2 less, and your creature costs 2 less. So if your creature costs 4, you're paying 0. And what this card does is when it enters, you can return a non-land permanent from your field to your hand. So you return itself, and you play itself over and over and over and over and over again. These are effects that probably you'd want anyways, in terms like maybe not the playing it over and over and over and over again, because you'll just be returning it to your hand and you won't be drawing anything. You probably have effects that could benefit from that, but there's nothing like out of like immediately that I can think of that'll be like good for that.
Yeah. It all depends. I think that there has to be ways to abuse it. So let's go to the
Uh,
next commander.
the
It's
Maestro's Massacre. So
yes,
I
with
love
Anello.
yeah, I love his name. Anello the Painter. Blue, black, red. Legendary creature, vampire, assassin, death touch. He is a 1/3. The first instant or sorcery spell you cast each turn has casualty 2.
Hmm.
I loved it. I love it so much. The deck, it kind of just like this deck just kind of feels like blue, like Grix's Spellslinger. You're just like it in terms of how it wins, I have no idea what you're trying to do exactly on how to win, at least from the deck out of the box. But it does bring some notable, like at least one very notable and interesting reprint. What do you think about this deck?
It's interesting. I'm actually looking at the going through the cards so that everybody who's watching us can see at least the glimpse of the card. Um, it's really interesting that there are more spells, obviously, because the whole point is to cast um, spells. But wouldn't that affect the fact that how do you call it? Wouldn't that affect the fact that there's not that much creatures to do the casualty cost?
So very interesting you mentioned that. So there's a few cards that work well with this deck, that work with its effect. So something like Bloodsoul Champion, in that's in the deck that can keep on coming back, as well
Yeah.
as the Dog Detective. He can also come back. But something like Cryptic Pursuit. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand, manifest the top card of your library. So you put it as a face down 2/2. If it dies, and if it's an instant or sorcery, you can cast it. So you cast any instant or sorcery from your hand, Anello will you sacrifice the 2/2 manifest. Um if it's an instant sorcery, you can cast it that turn, and then you have the casualty too. It's very nice that they included this card for Anello to work very well. It's also a way to in a way to draw cards. A creature is dying, and you're also getting the spell, so you don't lose the spell anyways. There's a few cards. I'm surprised they didn't include it. I'm very surprised they didn't include it.
Which
There's
card?
like drown in something. It's not drown in dreams. Uh, it's an sorcery that makes a 2/2 for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. Like I can just. Uh,
Okay.
I'm very surprised they didn't add that card. It seems like like an auto include.
Mm-hmm. Value wise, do you think that there's value here? I do see that there's a couple of cards that are in the $7 route.
Rise from the Tides. 5 and a blue sorcery. Create a top do black zombie creature token for each instant or sorcery in your graveyard. So okay, yeah, that's the. I just wanted to get out of the way. Value wise, no, I don't feel like this is the deck for value wise. Even though it says 181,
Yeah.
this one says okay. That's $8. That's 8, then 6. That's 14, 14, then 8. That's wow. Lightning Greaves is $8. What?
Yeah. Lightning Greaves is at
That's like 20,
$8.
22. 22. Then you got 32, 42. There's like two cards that's basically determining the price. That's around $42. There's really over here. This is like 52, 52, and then 65 around 65 ish dollars. So it's still not as impressive as the Riveteer Rampage and the Obscure Operation in terms of
Exactly. Yeah.
value, but it's higher. It's still higher than Cabaret Cacophony.
Yeah. It is.
I don't want
Here we see
to.
all the signets again. Demir, Arcane. We got Wafers, Soul Ring. Is it Rakdos?
Yeah, the
There's a lot
signals are
of
getting reprinted, and
yeah.
people were kind of again mad that the Talisman of Progress wasn't reprinted because they reprinted Talisman of Dominance, which is the red black one, when they threw the vampire deck, and they didn't throw in the red
Yeah.
white one. People were kind of expecting that one.
Why, Watsy? Why you do this to us?
Only they will know.
Okay, so here are the my group or my family
You love
bedecked
them.
brokers. Actually, I did not read the Cabaretti's ascendancy. I read it the other day and I need it.
What is
It
Cabaret Ascendancy do?
let me look for it. Uh Let me just go to. So I don't remember what I was doing. I think is I was actually looking for information for the broker's ascendancy, and then I stump upon the Cabaretti's ascendancy, and it does the following. Let me look for it. Okay, there you
Okay.
go. At the beginning
Yeah.
of your upkeep, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature or planeswalker card, you may reveal it and put it into your hand. If you don't, put that card into your hand, and you may put it um on the bottom of your library.
Not bad.
No, it's not, because actually for the commander that I have, this is a good card because I can keep, you know, if I have Essica and this in play, it's great because I can do Essica first, and then I can do Cabaretti Ascendancy second, or the other way around. It does not matter. The fact that I can look for a planeswalker or a creature to put it in my hand, then draw a card. Oh, that's amazing. And obviously, well, brokers send these. See, it's the one that gives me more loyalty counters for the planeswalkers. So it's a steal. I need it. So B Deck Brokers is the next one. This is the one that has 137 in value apparently, and its commander is Perry the Pulverizer. It's one green, white, blue legendary creature Rhino Soldier. When Perry enters the battlefield, put a shield counter on target creature. Whenever Whenever Prairie attacks, target creature you control gains trample and gets X plus X until end of turn, where X is the number of different kind of counters among permanents you control. So this is technically speaking modify. So the more you modify, the better.
But it's different type of counters as well.
Yeah,
So, but yeah,
exactly. So you can use, like, if you mix up this commander with Ikoria cards, you got poison counters, you have flying counter,
flying count.
trample.
Yeah.
So
There's one of the cards. Is one of the artifacts in this Agent's Toolkit.
hmm
One blue green artifact. It's a clue. You could use the 2 mana to sacrifice it just like any other clue and draw a card. But also enters the battlefield with a +1 counter, a flying counter, a death touch counter, and a shield counter. Has 4 different types of counters on it.
exactly.
And whenever a creature enters the battlefield under control, you may move a counter from it onto the creature. Uh, this is really it's just very interesting. I like that this is another that's very well built, because I just saw one of my favorite cards that I've never been able to use. Aven Mimeomancer. So Aven Mimeomancer, in your upkeep, you can put a feather counter on something and just turn it into a 3/1 flyer. At least in the like base power toughness 3/1 flyer. This also brings Devoted Druid, which
hmm
saw like a spike as soon as the
It's right
uh,
now going for $5.
yeah, but it was like $8 to $10, and now it's $5. I like that it has Royalist, the Apex Hybrid, because those are like proliferate. There's a lot of effects for like counters, and like it has
Mm-hmm.
a lot of very synergistic. This is very that's the word. It's very synergistic. This whole deck is very synergistic. I'm pretty sure there's one card
Oh,
I
here is this agent's toolkit.
yeah. I think I missed one card that I really wanted to talk about. I thought it was in the Broker's deck. It's not. It was in the Obscure deck, but I'll talk about that when we finish this. Um so yeah, in terms of value, I'd say this is like one of the weakest ones. But in terms of synergy, this is like the strongest one. This is like 5, 10, 10. Really, that's basically it. The commander
Yeah.
it's the worst one in value, but I feel like this is the best one built.
Yeah, it has a lot of like even in the lands, there's Vivid Meadow, Grove, and Creek that gives charge counters. So it is very synergistic because it does say that it's
Any type of counter.
any type of counter. So
Okay.
yeah. Going back
Could
to
you
Obscure, right?
keep going down.
Oh, okay.
Just keep on going down. Okay. Nope, you passed it. Okay, a white card called Jailbreak.
Oh, okay. Jailbreak. There it is.
It's like Jailbreak. One in a white, sorcery. Return target permanent card in an opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under their control. When that permanent enters the battlefield, return up to one target permanent card with equal or lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield. This is a 2 mana reanimate.
It is.
And it's permanent. You can give him something.
Wow.
Oh, you could give him something like that. It's not useful at the moment, and you can get something that's very useful for you at the moment.
Yeah, but you have to
Uh,
make sure what you choose because it
it
says
is very
equal or
yeah
lesser.
yeah. It is very dependent on what the opponent has, which makes it a lot worse. But the floor is like really bad, but the ceiling on this card is you win the game. So
Mm-hmm.
I like this card a lot. I really wanted to talk. I forgot about this, but yeah, I wanted to talk about it. It's really fun.
Sadly, the card that I like is not on in any of the commanders. Benny. Benny is it was the MVP, but can't I have to get it as a single. Um, Obviously, to let everybody know, these cards do show a borderless artwork, but these cards will come normal artwork. If you want the borderless version, you will get them either in collector booster boxes and or in set booster boxes because it is something that Wizard of the Coast likes to do. So depending on what card you want, you can get it borderless or non. Sadly, the borderless versions do not come foil, so don't expect them to be foil when you find them. That's the only sad part. If not, I would have already gotten my shiny borderless Shurikai, but no, that does not exist.
In a way, that's better because for people who don't like foils, they can have their non-foil
Yeah,
version.
exactly. One of the cards that I actually do like and it's interesting is the Grand Crescendo because even though you can activate this at the end of your opponent's turn to make a bajillion tokens,
It's
you
you can
miss
just
the gain indestructible portion, but
yeah, 2 mana indestructible is pretty good, pretty still pretty damn good.
exactly because it's like, oh, I create infinite mana and then 2 white and I don't know 10,000 in response to your board wipe. All of my things are indestructible. Oh, it's my turn. So I'll send 5,000 for you, 5,000 for you, 5,000 for you. I win the game. But then we have a friend called Orengo, so he will obviously counter
Counter.
it. So JP, what do you think about the cards? Do you like the commanders? Will you get one, or will you just buy them in singles?
So our local game stores, if I'm not mistaken, has already sold out all of them. So they
If
do
I'm
not,
not mistaken, yes, that is true.
they no longer have any. If I were to buy one, I would have gotten Toolbox Henzi, Henzi Torre, the Devil Rogue,
Yeah.
mostly for Jolene, and the deck just seems like very like my type of deck. I would have played it out of the box and then made like Jolene. I'm probably just gonna try to get see who buys set boosters for this, and if somebody gets a Jolene, I'm interested. Jolene sounds fun. I started getting a few cards for her. I'm not sure if I'm gonna build her immediately, but maybe like that's probably gonna be like a long term deck I'll be making.
Okay.
Uh, I like that all the commanders feel well built. The best built one being the Bant one. Unfortunately, the least amount of value is in that deck.
Yeah.
Uh, and the one I feel like the worst built one, which is still pretty damn well built, is the Obscura one,
Yeah.
and it has the most amount of value.
Yeah, exactly. That's really I'm really into the fact that I want to know what the professor says when he gets the product. Just wanting to know what he thinks. Probably he'll say the same thing as us in terms of like value wise and
The,
how
the,
the
the,
commander
but
works.
by the time he gets the cards, the numbers might have changed. So
Okay, that's
uh,
true.
there's a possibility people haven't figured something out specifically with a specific card, and it was like, oh, this card was like a 2 cents, but now it's like $13. It's like it could happen, but I'm generally happy with the set. Uh, I wish there was like a better commander for my play style, but Jolene will do.
Okay.
Jolene will do.
I would have thought that being the fact that the brokers have the ascendancy card that's more leaning on planeswalkers and creatures, I would have expected more. I'm not gonna say to like, hey, make a Super Friends commander, even though that would be very interesting and fun, right? Um, but I think that it would have been a little bit much more interesting if they would have the whole counter thing, because there are commander and not commanders. There are planeswalkers that do give um either +1/+1 counters, or they give a certain type of counter. It would have been nice to like see at least one or two planeswalkers reprinted in the commander deck. But WotC, it's WotC, and they do their thing very weirdly. But the good thing is that at least one of the things that I do like is, like you mentioned, the fact that these are playable out of the box. So it
Very
would
much
be,
so.
yeah, exactly. So it's really nice to see that. So JP, do you have anything else to say, or any like last time that we had like that major leak? Do you have anything else to tell us, or to our listeners?
And nothing so far. So yeah, no.
Do you like the set so far? Well, it's releasing in
I
this next week, so
like I like the set, but there's nothing wow about the set. There's nothing like I want, like, oh my god, I need. Like I
hmm
keep saying, I want Jolene, but that's about it.
yeah, I'm with you. The only thing I want are two ascendancies and one equipment from this set. Oh wait, we can't forget Benny. Benny is an important card.
Yeah,
I need
man.
Benny. And whoever gets Benny, just tell me, hit me up. I will buy it. um So yeah, so I actually do say this set is okay. I really am already crazy to get to let it be Friday, like that we can play it in regards to the pre-release, see how things go. So I'm very excited of that. So once again, just gonna make a small announcement. Let me just mention it now before we say our goodbyes. This Friday, we, the Cardboard Cave, will be at Capitan Granuja Comics and Games. We are going to be streaming the pre-release event, so we will be opening pre-release boxes, and as well we will explain how the pre-release works like we always do. And as well we will be um streaming the event, the tournament. So we will have always the top two players on the table, or we will do like we always do, switch it up like that. Everybody got a chance to see different play styles that night. And if if I do get early, because that's the plan, we can go ahead and stream a couple of Commander games while we're there. So I do hope to see everybody that it's at least from Puerto Rico, to see you guys at the Capitan Granuja Comics and Games pre-release event. So JP, do you have any final words, and where can people find you?
I'm have I mentioned I'm excited for Jolene?
Yes, you have.
They can find me. So you guys can find me here at the Cardboard Cave. Where can they find you, John?
Well, you can find me at all my social media as JDR117. I do appear in a bunch of other places as well. Tomorrow, I will be with the movie guy in my show Up, Left, Right. We're going to have a double feature this week. So, tomorrow, I will be with Omar Montelara and John Miranda from issue 42 and the movie guy. We will be talking about the latest episode of the Halo series from Paramount Plus. And as well, this Sunday, we're supposed to go live as well to talk about the Street Fighter movie, video game movie adaptation. So it will be with an invited guest once again. That will be Omar Monterara. That we're going to be talking about Street Fighter. If anything changes, just follow the social media like that. You guys can be up to date as well. You can find me and Orengo at Subtitles Required. Remember, we haven't launched any new episode yet, but we are planning to make a comeback. And here in the Cardboard Cave, and as well, you can see my reviews and news at realinfilms.com. I keep blabbering because I am literally everywhere. And obviously here at the Cardboard Cave podcast. But guys, don't forget one more thing before we say goodbye. Alter sleeves. Come on. You guys want to make your commander spicy and looking very unique, just go ahead, hit that link on the top of the description in YouTube or Facebook, and just go ahead and make your purchase, or use our code Cardboard Cave to get a 5% off on your whole purchase. So this is just a step closer to help us make more content and just make a bigger, broader community. So we will see you in the next one. And here is a small little message from our local game store. Hey geeks, do you love comics, collectibles, and TCG? Well, here at Cardboard Cave, we have the place for you. Pass by Capitan Granuja Comics and Games and find all your favorite geeky items there. Look for them at Facebook or Instagram, or call them at 787-659-7003. A store blessed by Nicole Bolas.